So let's talk about user accounts. As you have seen before, you can use Serchilo perfectly without being registered, but being a registered user gives you some advantages, and I will show you now which ones. So we currently see that I am here logged in into my user account because that login button is now a logout button. And over here in the address bar, I can see I have opened a site, the Serchilo site of a user. This is the U, and Jorgis, which is my username. And I can open this site also without being logged in. So if I'm, for instance, in an internet cafe and I just want to access my commands and my usual settings, I just type in this URL. Now, the first advantage of being a registered user is I can have defined a default keyword. So the default keyword is defined here. I clicked on my account, now on default keyword, and the current default keyword is set up to G. Now this means that when I'm calling a command, and I'm actually don't calling a command because I just type in something, there is no keyword, this usually would throw an error, but now, because I have defined G as a default keyword, G is put in front of and the whole query is recognized as a query to Google. Another advantage, it is my personal commands. So they're listed here, my account, my commands. These are the commands I have currently listed, and how they can help you, how they are useful, I will show you by one example. I will create a new personal command for myself based on another command. So there is already existing a command, Google Maps directions. It works that way that I can type in a start and a destination, say Berlin, Hamburg, and this will call Google Maps with the routing function and will give me a route from Berlin to Hamburg in Germany. Now, since I'm living in Berlin, I want to use the command that way that the start is already set. So how to do that? I will just clone this command. Therefore I select it from the list. Now I open its site, and here I click on clone. So this is the command editing page. We have here the title, the keyword, the URL, and here within the URL I have some placeholders, and there's this placeholder for start. Now I will replace this placeholder with Berlin. The other placeholder, destination, remains. I will now save the command. Actually, these examples are now wrong because they won't work anymore. And now I'm having a personal command. It's under my namespace. It's still the keyword GD. And I can type in here destination or just go back to my main page. So let's try it, GD, Hamburg. And we see, okay, the first one is already properly selected. Click on go, and it does what it should do. Berlin is the starting point, Hamburg is now from the query the destination. Yeah, so with user commands you can define commands that only work in your namespace, but you can also define them for your friends. So for instance, you can have listed some user commands, and then your friends can use your namespace as their custom namespaces, so they can also use your commands. For instance, if you're in a company and you want to set up some commands for your wiki, for your company wiki, just do that and give that personal URL or your namespace to your colleagues. Okay, this so far is the video about user accounts. Thanks.